If you haven't heard, the Blackout event is live. Now, my video this morning, I guess, upset some folks. The intent was just to let people know the event had started, as not everyone has Twitter or X to see the posts from BSG, and they still don't post things in game yet, so it's about the only way some people can find out about it. I'll admit, we got a little carried away with the title, but there was no harm intended. We changed it after I saw everyone freaking out over the clickbait of it, so apologies if you were upset by that. But now we have a full video of all the info you need for the event. Everything soup to nuts here, finished to end. So let's get into it so you know how to complete everything. Okay, so basics first, but make sure you watch this whole video so you don't miss any details and get stuck not being able to extract from labs, because a lot of stuff are different than how labs normally runs. Now, the event is only on labs. You still need a key card to get in as well. There is no free entry like we've seen in some past events on labs. Now, BSG did lower the required trader level. Key cards are now on level 3 therapist. Mechanic, I believe the barter is on level 2 now, and it's a little bit cheaper. I can't remember what it was before, but they made the barter a little bit cheaper. And refs got lowered as well to level 1 ref? Level 3 ref. You've got your labs cards on level 3 ref. So those are your barters. They were all lowered 1 required trader level to get them. Now, you don't necessarily have to have the map unlocked, but you do want to have tour completed to make this the easiest. If you don't have this completed yet or you're close, go knock that out. It's going to make life a lot easier. You can still transit from streets and factory though, but you have to do that each time you want to go. That's a huge pain in the ass and a huge risk, but it's there as an option. Now, there are a series of 5 tasks, which we'll do the guides for here in a second, and they lead to the Going Dark achievement. We also don't have an end date yet. BSG said they would announce the end of the event later, but I wouldn't be surprised if this runs through all the way to the start of the Season 1 Cord Breach. It might even be tied to it in the lore in some kind of way. So, for the map itself, after about 10 to 15 seconds of the start of the raid, the power is flipped off and it goes dark, and I mean dark. Flashlights work okay, but you'll be a sitting duck against other players. They're going to see you coming a mile away. So plan on bringing NVGs every raid. It's not that big of a deal. It's just like Icebreaker. All of the Black Division have NVGs, so you can just pick them up off them. Now, as far as the AI goes, raiders do still spawn on the map, but so does Black Division. And the Black Division deletes any raiders they see pretty quickly. You might find some stragglers here and there, but they're not all that common. Wedge and his guards also spawn. It appears as of right now that they spawn either in Hangar Gate or Parking Garage. They might spawn elsewhere, but that seems to be the only 2 places we saw them spawn. However, they do roam around some of the map, so you can run into them in other places. And keep in mind, the Black Division do spawn right at the start of the raid. There's a couple of spawns that you can run into them within the first 5 or 10 seconds before the lights even go out. So just be ready for that. Also, the Black Division don't like run out. You don't get to kill 10 or 15 of them and the map is clear. They keep respawning. It's not super fast. It's not like a flood like the zombies or anything, but you don't have much more than a few minutes in the area that you've cleared out before more show up. And that is the next issue. Time. The raid timer is reduced. It was at 20 minutes for most of the day, but BSG did bump it up to 25 minutes after some of the complaints. They saw some of the complaints. Now, we never did see any raiders or Black Division in the basement level or lower level, whatever you want to call it. But I'm not 100% sure none ever spawned down there. But it was the safest way for us to move around back and forth on the map when you had to cross, which there's a couple of times you need to, because the middle areas are a death trap with Black Division roaming around, completely ignoring the players. Now, for the extracts, super important. These have been modified too. The only extracts on the map are Hangar Gate and Parking Gate. They are available 100% of the time. It's not like normal where sometimes they're there or not. They're there every raid, but there is one condition, and that is someone has to turn power back on for them to open. There's no other buttons to hit. Once power turns on, they open up on their own. But that's the trick. Turning the power on, you have to access the Terra Group Labs Arsenal storage room with a key that is only on Black Division. Now, it spawns 100% of the time on Wedge, but it's also RNG in the pockets of the rest of Black Division. So as you kill them, you got to loot them and check their pockets to get the key. Now, midday, when they changed the timer up to 25 minutes, they also increased the spawn rate of the key, which was a good thing. We had a couple of raids where it was pretty tough to find. Now, the room to get into here is the old storage closet that's between Black Room and Server down on the first floor. It's modified. It's the same room, but it's modified a little bit. Obviously, it's locked. Once you're inside there, you just go up to the panel and activate the power. The gates will then start to open, and both extracts are available for anyone to use. So if you're scared about getting out and you don't want to go over, you could just go hang out by one of those gates. And as soon as somebody hits that power, you're able to get out before anybody else is. Now, when we were there, we never saw the gates open and spawn anything. Like no Black Division came in when the gates opened, like they do with Raiders sometimes. But they can be guarded by Wedge. Like I said, he spawns in those two areas. So just be careful. Now, also super important, in that room where you turn the power on, the door you unlock, you would turn the power on. If you turn around and face the wall, there is a whiteboard on there. On that whiteboard is a 4-digit code that changes with every raid. It's not the same. So don't try to memorize it for the next raid. It's not gonna do any good because it changes. This code will open every keycard door in labs. Yellow, black, red, doesn't matter. All of them are opened with the same code. Now, you might see some clips. The key cards were working as keys for a little while. Basically, go up to the door and you could open it with a key card. But BSG didn't intend for that to happen. So they patched it to where you can't even put key cards in your player inventory anymore. So there, you're all pretty much caught up. Let's get to the tasks. The first few are pretty straightforward. Wrench and waterboard is the first one, and it is from Skier. All you have to do is go into the lab, and that's it. Get into the raid. You don't even need to survive, and the task is complete. Now, the second task, key to every door, is also with Skier, and it requires you to get into the storage room we talked about where the power was. And then you have to use the 4-digit code to open any door. It doesn't matter which one, any of them will work. And that finishes the task for you. Again, with this one, you don't need to even survive the raid, so you can just do it, and if you die, it sucks, but at least you got the task completed. Now, task 3 is where the difficulty really starts to ramp up. This one is with Therapist. It's my blood type mark is on the sleeve. This one requires you to get 3 quest items out of labs. You'll need to get the key first and get into the room and get the 4-digit code because you have to get into rooms to get this stuff. The first one is inside Black Room. The sample is, as you walk in, it's to the left. As you first go in the containment box there. You have to look at it just right to see a pixel through the glove hole to grab it. It's kind of a pain in the ass. The second item is in Green Room. Now, the newish kind of quest circle finder UI thingy comes in super handy here. There are 3 spawns in Green Room for this, 3 different spawns. The first is on the counter on the left from the door as you enter. The second is at the bottom of the standing fridge, and the third is in the vent hood at the back of the room. Now, the third item is in Sanny's office. The journal is just straight ahead of you as you walk in. It's on the desk next to the PC or the laptop. It looks like an intel folder, and that's all 3 items. You do have to survive with these and get them out of raid, but you do not need to get all of them in one raid. So let's say you get into Black Room and you hear people fighting in green or whatever, and you don't want to go up there, you can go and extract and get that item out and then not worry about it on the next raid. Now on to the 4th task, patch the vulnerability. This one requires you to plant 3 devices around the lab. Mechanic does give you the 3 local network hacking devices that you need for the task, but there is a barter. If you forget to put it in your secure container or something and you lose one, you can get another one from him through a barter. Now, again, you need to get into the room. You need the code, but you also need to get in the room too. The first one goes in that system admin office, which is the room with the code. Simple enough. You open the door, it's the desk right there. You go up, you just plant the device, you'll see it. Now, the second one goes into the garage gate control room. This is Yellow Room. Now, be careful when you're in here. Black Division is in that garage a lot, and they will zip your head right off if you're standing. So make sure you crouch down, go to the desk at the far corner, and plant it there. Now, the third one goes into the central security monitoring room, which is the Violet Room. Once you're in the Violet Room, turn right, left, open up the red cages, and you plant on the server racks in there. And that's it. Sort of. I mean, you do need to kill 10 Black Division with this, but that can be done at any point during the task. So any you've killed along the way, planting counts as well. So you get those 10 done and the task is completed. After that, the 5th is the most grindy task in my opinion. You have to kill 15 PMCs. The flow of the map will change a lot over the next few days from what we saw today, but it was super difficult for me to get kills simply because the Black Division clears out a lot of the players each match. It doesn't seem like there's any fewer players. It still seems like it's 8 to 10. But man, if you see more than 3 players in a match, you're pretty, I don't know if you're lucky. Maybe that's not lucky, but if you're looking for players, you're lucky if you see more than 3. Now, one thing to note, I do not know if this 5th task is the same on PvE or not. I say this because BSG has modified some of these PMC kill tasks for events in the past. And I'm hearing from people that are playing on PvE right now that they never see any PMCs alive because Black Division just deletes all of them. So it's very difficult to find any of them alive. If you've gotten this far in PvE, let us know down in the comments if this task is different for PvE than it is PvP, or if it's the same. If it's the same, I can definitely see BSG having to change something to make this possible to do. But regardless, once you finish the task, that's it. That's the achievement. The 15 PMC kills gets you the achievement. Now, a couple of housekeeping items, things I noticed today that I want to talk about that I know people are going to ask about. The cheaters, obviously the first one, right? It's labs. Everybody's freaked out about cheaters. I was actually pretty surprised today. Cheaters were sparse. In 8 hours, we ran across one sus account. It was a 300-hour account. He made a pretty crazy play that could have been really skillful. It could have been cheating. Hard to say. It wasn't 100% obvious cheating. It was just sus. And we weren't playing slow all 8 hours either. We were aggressively pushing around the map, taking fights where we could, constantly battling Black Division and players, all sorts of things. So my guess is, this is just a guess, is that the cheaters are still there. It's not that they're not on the map. It's just they're getting manhandled by Black Division, probably worse than everybody else. Overall, cheaters just suck at Tarkov. They're not that great at it. They have bad situational awareness, poor game sense, and they're just lazy. And even with cheats, I can see Black Division giving them a hard time. So take that for what it's worth. Aside from that, there are a lot of RPGs on the map. So just be prepared to get evaporated at some point, because it's going to happen. Along with this, the area near Black Room is going to get very ratty. It's the only place to open the extract. So people are going to just sit there and wait for other players to do the work, because everybody has to come there. It's where we ran into the most campers today, honestly. Now, as far as the Black Division, they do seem to be toned down a little bit from Icebreaker. There is more wiggle room there and forgiveness, if you want to call it that. If you show them your whole torso, if you go to peek them, they tend to hit the body a lot, body and arms. I did notice that. But if you just peek with your head, prepare to get one tapped. Just kind of how it is. Anybody who played in 2020, 2021, the Raiders around that time, they're very similar to that. They're harder, obviously, but the same way you had to play Raiders on labs back then is the same way you play Black Division now. Very similar, it feels like to me. But just in general, I know this is super obvious. It's just general, not better to not get shot at them at all. Just don't get shot at by them, because they are shooting good ammo, and some of that ammo will punch right through Class 6 plates and delete you faster than you know what's happening. Well, that is the whole video. As always, I hope this was helpful. Sorry for any confusion this morning, or yesterday, I guess. I hope this video makes up for it. As always, hit that like and subscribe button. If you're this far along, I have to imagine you liked the video and it was helpful. Helps me out a ton. Tells YouTube you want to see more of the content. Regardless, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching my content and consuming it. I wish you the best of luck in your raids down in the dark lab. We'll see you in Tarkov.